Hey kids, today we're going to be talking about angles and angle relationships, specifically complementary angles, vertical angles, supplementary angles, and adjacent angles. Um, so the first angle relationship that I want to mention is complementary angles. And complementary angles are when two angles add up to 90 degrees. And so they are always, I want you to see the C in complementary, and I want you to think of the word corner. Because if you look into any corner, you can see that it makes kind of like an L shape. And so if you have two angles that make that L shape, like this right here, the angles A and B, you see the little right triangle box? They make up 90 degrees, and they're complementary. Corner angles are complementary. So just to take some examples, if an angle was 45 degrees and we're looking for another angle that's going to be complementary to it, that angle is going to have to equal 90 degrees. So in this case, the other angle would be 45 degrees, okay? But maybe you have an angle that is 30 degrees. So what would be the complement of 30? Well, 30 plus what equals 90? In this case, it's going to be 60 degrees because 30 plus 60 degrees equals 90, meaning those two angles are complementary. Common error that people make is they think that a 90-degree angle alone is complementary. But complementary angles are two angles, not three, not one, but two. They form a corner L shape where they add up to 90 degrees. Now, the second angle relationship is the word supplementary angles. And supplementary angles are two angles that form a straight line at the bottom. And you can see in this little angle relationship right here between angles A and B, a straight line is formed right at the bottom there between the two angles. Straight lines add up to 180 degrees, okay? A straight line is 180 degrees. So when you add the angles together, they're going to equal 180. So that could be like, maybe you have a 100-degree angle. If you add 80 degrees to it, you're going to get 180, okay? Or maybe you have a 10-degree angle, okay? Maybe the angle's 10 degrees. What plus 10 degrees gives you 180? 170. And so those are supplementary relationships between angles. They are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. You can remember that supplementary has an S in it, and you can think of straight line, okay? The S in supplementary stands for a straight line, just like the C in complementary stands for corner. The third angle relationship is vertical angles. And vertical angles are angles that are diagonal from each other. So angle A and angle C are diagonal or across from each other. Angle D and angle B are across or diagonal from each other. Those angles are going to be, it's a word, congruent. And the word congruent, spelled like CONGRUENT, means equal. So they're always going to equal each other. So if angle A, for example, let's say that angle is 80 degrees, okay? Then which one of those angles are also going to be 80? Well, the one right across or diagonal to it, which is C. And if angle B was therefore 100 degrees, then angle D would also be 100 degrees. And again, throwing in something we learned last slide, Angles A and B, when you put them together, they form a straight line at the bottom. They make that like slanted T shape too. That means they are supplementary angles because you add them together, they equal 180. The next angle relationship is adjacent angles. And adjacent angles are angles that are right beside each other. The word adjoined means to be right beside something. So that adjoined is right next to. And so these are angles that to the left or the right, that's where you're going to find them. So if it said what angle is adjacent to angle 3, look right beside it, okay? That would be angle 2 and angle 4, okay? If I were to say what angle is adjacent to angle 6, I'm going to look right beside it. Angle 5 and angle 1, okay? That's what adjacent means. So now we're going to look at some SOL style questions. Which of the following could be the measure of 2 supplementary angles? Well, remember that the S in supplementary stands for straight line, okay? And a straight line measures out to be 180 degrees. So therefore, you're going to take your calculators, or your calculator, and you're going to add these two angles together. 7 plus 83 equals 90. Those two angles are complementary. 83 plus 83 is 166. That doesn't add up to be 180 degrees. But 97 plus 83 does add up to be 180, and that would make it an supplementary angle. Supplementary meaning straight line. We have a guest today, kiddos. It's the beloved Persian cat that everybody's been talking about. She just wanted to say hello. Sorry, kids. I am choking up here. Number 2, look at the angles. And you have to identify each angle that is, keyword here, adjacent. And remember, adjacent, right beside you. Just like my cat, right beside me here. She's staring at me. She wants food. So she always wants food, though. So which angle is adjacent to angle 2? Well, we're going to look at the angles that are right beside it. That's angle 1 and angle 4, okay? It's got to be the left or the right, not across, okay? Across is vertical. So you're going to select angle 1 and angle 4. And our next question, let's just determine the measurement of angles A, B, and C, okay? So A, B, C, I'm going to highlight it with the yellow marker thing. E-pen, electronic pen, I don't know what you call these things. Okay, so this is going to require us know that vertical angles or angles that are across from each other are equal. So looking at this angle diagram here, it says that this angle is 37 degrees. The angle right across from it is its vertical angle, diagonal angle here. So that is also going to be 37. Now this is a little right corner box. That little square means that this angle is 90 degrees. So if you want that whole angle, you have to add 90, this 90 plus that 37. And that will tell you your answer. 90 plus 37 will add up to be 127 degrees. And again, this particular angle relationship forms a straight line at the bottom, which means that it's supplementary. So 180 minus the 135 gives us the correct answer. And so in this case, this angle measures out to be 45 degrees. All right, well, thanks for watching our video, kids.